Hi guys! Okay, I am back with my Globeland collaboration and I am here to have a play basically and play with these stamps that I got. In the unboxing video obviously I showed everything off, and then in the last video that I did, which was quite a few weeks ago, I showed all these lovely metal dies that I got from them, and we cut them out and yeah, they turned out awesome. Love them, loving all the fine details in some of these. Yeah, they're absolutely brilliant. I've worked with Globeland in the past, last year, with the metal dies and other stamps as well, and honestly I've just never been disappointed with the stamps and the die quality. They're absolutely brilliant. But yeah, and you get such a lot in one pack as well, which is awesome. Okay, so that's the dies. Now today we're going to play with the stamps, predominantly the bee stamps, because I'm going to be working on a bee journal soon. And what I thought was, I have been making some Christmas wrapping papers. This is not Globeland, but this is just to show you where I'm going down the route with the stamps. I have been making some Christmas paper, Christmas wrapping paper. That's just the paper that I had underneath. Yeah, so I made some Christmas wrapping paper. It's just A4 paper. Excuse me, obviously it comes through on the back. It's just A4 paper with archival ink so the ink doesn't run. And then I used my oxide inks to colour them in. And yeah, so it turns out great. And then I used a bit of text stamping in the back of that one. But then I used that to wrap a box. Well, not that one, this one. This one was done exactly the same, it just doesn't have the text stamping in the background. And yeah, so you have your own customised wrapping paper, which is awesome, especially in time for Christmas. But when I was doing this one, and yeah, I suddenly thought, well, hang on a minute, apart from wrapping paper, if we just fold this in half, like so, then we have a page that would quite easily go into a signature, and you've got it coming through on the back, which is awesome. You could tea or coffee stain the back of this, or spray, whatever. And then yeah, so I thought, well, if I'm going to be making a bee journal soon, then I've got all these bee stamps that I was just going to randomly stamp in the journal. I thought, well, I could use the same principle and make myself some bee papers to go in the journal. Customised bee papers. So that's what I'm going to do. So in the sets from Globeland stamps, I got these ones, which are gorgeous, just decorative stamps. I got these beautiful leaf ones. Excuse the noise, guys, the kitten's wreaking havoc in the background. I have these beautiful leaf stamps, which we could also use. And I have this postcard one and these little splatters and other postal image things, which I will use at a later date. But yes, so today we're just going to focus on the bee side of things and probably some flowers. Well, the bee stamps do have flowers in with them. Some of them, I'll tilt it this way, then the glare off the light doesn't get in the way. So we have lots of bee stamps, like stamps with bees on and honeycombs, and then we have flowers and butterflies as well, which is awesome. Then we have lots of phrases and things, which again is awesome. Yeah, so we have quite a few bee sets, which is great. So we've all those, and then we have these 4, which are not bee related, but they do have the butterflies on. Some little tiny ones in the background as well, and they do have flowers also, so you know, maybe those could work well with the bees as well, and a ladybird, you know, because you get butterflies and ladybirds around at the same time as you get the bees. Yeah, so we'll see, but today I just want to play specifically with the bee stamps. Okay, and like I said, we're just going to randomly stamp and then colour and make our own papers for a bee journal. Now what I have also done is I have pre-selected some papers that I would like to work with in my journal. I haven't done anything journal wise yet. I haven't created a cover or anything yet. I do have some printouts that digital kit printouts that I'm also going to be using within the kit, but that's for a different video. Now these are papers that I have previously, a long time ago. I do have videos on these as well. A long time ago I have tea and coffee dyed, and I have ink transfer dyed as well, which is where you find prints, digital kits, or anything really that has really high quality colour on it, and then you tea, coffee, whichever, you coat that on it, and then you lay that print on top of it whilst it's wet, and you cover that as well. Then when it dries, it transfers some of the colour. So obviously a bee journal, we want it nice and colourful. So I have this page. Then I've just got some nice plain tea dye. I use tea because for some reason I just don't like the smell of the coffee dye when I've done it. Other people's coffee dye is great. I have quite a few, or I have had in the past quite a few bundles of coffee dyed paper from other people, other crafters, and they are amazing. They smell lovely, but when I do mine, I don't know what's going wrong, but for some reason the smell of it makes me feel sick. So I use tea. Now I really like this one. You can only see it very faintly in the background. I don't know if you can even see with the lighting, but I had a piece of squared paper over the top of this, so very, very faintly in the background you can see squares. Like, well, people call it graph paper, but here it's like math book paper. Okay, so I have that one too. I'm just going to kind of separate them into colours. And we've got this one here that's just got splodges on it. That was a print of a jelly print that I did with bubble wrap. So that's nice and blue. Then we've got some tea dyed paper here with circles on. That was from a pizza pan. The indentation from a pizza pan. A bit of grubby on it, which is great. Again, you know, bees, dirt, that sort of thing. Another tea dyed one with a bit of colour in it. So that's cool. Oh, that's the another bubble wrap one. See that a little bit more. Put that to the coloured side. Then we've got this lined one here with a bit of colour on it. So we'll pop that to there. Another tea dyed one, not as dark as the others, but that's also great. And again, another tea dyed with some colour. We'll put that over in the tea dyed section because it's not completely coloured. Then we have a tea dyed one with wood grain effect. Now I really loved how this one turned out, and in my backyard I have a picnic bench, a wooden picnic bench, and what I did when I did these at the particular time, I have a video on that as well, I actually coated the bench itself with the tea dye, and then I put the paper on the bench, flattened it out so it soaked it up, and then I put tea dye over the top of it as well, and then I waited for it to dry, and it got the imprint of the bench on it, which just worked absolutely brilliantly. I love that effect. Again, we have a nice bright coloured piece of lined paper. Then we have a really vibrant coloured piece there of tea dyed. Then we have another one here that's had squared paper on it again. You can just see the faint outline. And then we have some more tea dyed paper, but lines this time with the circle. You can see it. You can actually see it there. The pizza pan. That works great. Does that one? And then again, we have two more tea dyed, but only very lightly, which is also fabulous. So there we go. Now all these tea dyed ones will be fine to do this technique on because it's only tea dye. These ones, however, may alter the colour of what we're going to colour in with, but it also may alter the colour of the paper in the background as well. The colours may blend together and not work. Well, not work, but not turn out the colour they're supposed to, because this is pigment from the printout as well. So I have an inkjet printer, and inkjet printers papers when they're wet, they do run. So there's a chance that the colours might start to lift again in these and turn everything a different colour. So we'll see. Could be interesting. But yeah, so I really like them. So what I was thinking was, this one might not be too bad. There's a colour on there, but it's a bit plainer on that side. So I was thinking of stamping on that side, and then we can turn it that way to put in a journal. So I was thinking that we will try with a few different ones, just to see, and also kind of test that theory of whether the ink will lift. Let's go for this one. It's a little bit lighter, is it? No, I don't know. Let's do this one. This one, because it's, I don't know, that's blue, obviously. This is also blue, but it's more of a turquoisey blue. This, to me, feels a little bit of a warmer blue than that, so we'll go with that, because obviously bees are around in the summertime. So we'll go for the warmer colours, warmer tones, should I say. So we'll pop those over there. I also intend to use all of these papers I've chosen in my journal anyway, but I do have stencils and things with honeycombs and stuff on, so these papers will get used in other ways anyway, or as they are, just folded in half. So again, we'll use that one because it's quite plain, but then let's go with one of the darker ones and test the theory of whether the coffee will turn the colours a different colour. Let's use that grubby one, not grungy one. Okay, so this video, I will just say, because we're in, let me just put that there, then I can see, yeah, we're like nearly 12 minutes in. This video could be broken up into sections, just for time, or I think what I might do is actually just speed up the process now. I'll do one with you on here, on this one, and then I will probably speed up the process. Yeah, and then maybe stop and, well, I'll speed up the process of doing it, and then we'll come back and we'll chat about it at the end. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do. But these are the papers that I'm going to work with for this project. And again, like I said, the bee stamps. So I've got all of those to choose from. Got all of those to choose from. And them. And them. And them. So yeah, we're going to have lots of fun with this. Now, which one do we want to use first? Oh, it's so difficult to choose because they're all just really nice. First of all, I will take them all out of the packets and get them prepped and ready. Okay guys, I'm back. I have taken them all out of the packets and they are ready. What I also forgot to say was I have some tissue paper here. I have a huge bundle of tissue paper here, which awesomely came in a parcel from one of my friends ages ago. I think it actually was for my birthday last year. Yeah, what she'd made something handmade, and it was very fragile and delicate, so she literally popped all this wrapping, all this tissue paper in the parcel. It was all scrunched up like that, but I salvaged it, flattened it out, and of course it will get used. So we could also do this on tissue paper, and then we could tear it away and decoupage with it. So that is also another thing that we could do. So I will pop that to one side. I have a little rag here that I'm going to use when I'm painting the paper to put underneath. Okay, well, I say painting, but we're going to colour. Okay, so I'm just going to get started now, and we need, or I need, a stamping block or two. So I have a couple here. I don't need huge ones. I need my archival ink. So I don't want to use hickory smoke, I want to use black soot. So let's get that one out. I can put that hickory smoke back. Let's get that one out. Okay. Fabulous. Now I'm using archival ink because, as I said previously, it's waterproof, so it will not, when we are doing the colouring in, the painting, with colouring in with the other inks and things, which can also do with watercolour paints or felt tip pens or anything, but because we'll be adding water to the colours to colour in, it won't lift that. That won't bleed out or blend or anything. It won't lift, it'll stay as is. So I'm going to just start with this small one here first. So let's get rid of these papers underneath because I don't want any of it coming out onto them. I'll pop them over there. Yeah, so let's have a look and see what we want to start with. Right, now I'm going to envisage this page. I'm leaving that on, I like that. So I'm going to envisage this page as being folded in half. Okay, so I'm going to just put a very faint pencil line here, like so. Then I know that that's the middle. Not that I can't go over that, but I know then that when this is folded, that's going to fold in half. So if I have a bee going across there, and like its head's here and whatever, part of its head might get chopped, like not chopped off, but lost once we fold the page. So if I just do that, we will know rough guidelines to work with. Okay, so I'm in focus, I'm in frame, yep, we're all good. Alright, so I think with this one, we're just going to do a nice big Be Happy stamp in the middle. Will it fit on there? Oh, it will, but only just. Let's see, that's okay, it fits better that way, so there we go, it fits better on there that way. Alright, so I'm just going to ink this up. And this paper comes in really handy as well because I will print on that first, stamp on that first before stamping on that actual page, just to make sure the stamp works fine and whatnot. Because there are a few little tips and tricks, well, one in particular that I know of, when stamps don't stamp as good as they should do. When you first get them, there is a little tip to get it to work. Just give it a few seconds for the ink to soak in. Oh, that stamps actually beautifully, so beautifully, yes. Fabulous, love it, and see what I mean, it's permanent, so it's on there now, and yeah, it won't lift. Okay, so there's the guideline, so we're going to go pretty much in the middle. We need to ink up again. And you always take your ink pad to the stamp, you never do that. Well, I'm saying never, you can, but it's better to do it this way. So it's also easier to see where you need to add more pressure to get more colour. Really happy with this one. Okay, so we're going to go just somewhere roughly in the middle, and as my stamp is pretty much in the middle of this block, or just a bit less, I'm going to just line the block up in the middle. Okay, just give it a bit of a tap. It helps also if you have some form of cushioning underneath whatever you're stamping on, which I don't. Some people use mouse mats and things like that, or something like that. That can help too. I do have a stamping platform that also really does help, but it would have worked for this actually, but for the size of the paper that we're going to do, it's easier just to use the stamping blocks. Okay, I think that's had long enough. Brilliant, really love that. Okay, so when this page is folded in half in the journal, that's going to be that page. That's fabulous. Okay, so we're going to put that back where it was, back on there. We're done with that one. I'm not going to use that one again just now. Okay, so I want some little bees going around, I think. So let's have a look. Well, there's a big one there. We could have that there, I suppose, because there's already little bees on there. That might be good, like queen bee, yeah. And then that's that one. Let's have a look at this. Oh, there's some little bees going off in directions there. I think I want, oh, sorry guys, sorry guys, just butted you. I think I like that idea, so yes, we will have this one here. Go there, I think. That can go on here. Yeah, that can go there. That could have done with being a little bit lower down actually. Although we can stamp off as well, that doesn't matter. But yeah, so let's do that. Again, before I do that, we're going to test it on here. It also helps to do this to figure out your orientation. Oh wow, that stamp's really good. Is that even a bee or is that a wasp? It looks more like a wasp to me. It could be a bee, I don't know. Well, like I said, it looks more like a wasp to me. I should know, I've been stung with one often enough. Okay, so yes, I'm liking that. So I'm just going to actually position this where I want it up here at the top, as if we're using a stamping platform. So I'm going to pop that there, and then I'm going to put the stamping block there, which just makes it easier to just plonk it right down exactly where I want it. I love that. That stamps beautifully. So, again with the bee puns, beautifully. So, ink up again, and position there, and down it goes. Just give it a few seconds. Oh, love that. I love that. And then you can stamp off in the background. Yes, I really do love that. That is so cool. Okay. Let's pop that back in there where it should be. And I think, what about the flowers, do you think? Let's add some more flowers. Oh, let's add some sunflowers even. Or how about the honeycomb? Let's do the honeycomb. There's already flowers in the wreath, so let's do the honeycomb. Yeah, let's just do the honeycomb. Okay, now I'll put it there, then I know not to ink down the bottom end, because I'm not going to be using that. So, yes, love it. So let's do the honeycomb down here. Oh, I'm loving that. That's beautiful, that for a page. Okay, so I am just going to, as I said, either go off and do the rest, or I will speed it up. I might speed some of it up and then just do the rest off camera. It will be quicker. And then when I have them all done, we'll come back and we will do the colouring side of things. Hi guys. Okay, so I've done some papers already. Well, I've done a paper already, I've done that one, and I'm just working on this one now, and I've come to use this, and it is not stamping as well as I would like it to, so there is a little bit of a hack for that when that happens. So if you take a emery board nail file, you know, and just very lightly file over it, over your stamp, not too roughly, bit of pressure but not too rough, and just file over it, just rough it up a little bit. Now I'm going to do both of them because they're both a little bit off for my liking. As I said, you don't need to do it too rough, but just a little bit. And get right in there. Like so. Okay, give it a bit of a wipe off. Get rid of all the excess dust and silicone that you've just scrubbed off. Okay, now stamp, now ink and restamp, and it should stamp perfect every time. Okay. Always test stamp first, then you don't ruin your image or your paper, whatever you're doing. Brilliant. Okay, much better, catching in much better places. That's because I haven't inked it enough and put enough pressure on. Alright, so now I'm going to stamp the actual page. Okay, make sure it's right, the right way up. And there we go. And brilliant, love it. So that's that page. Love it. Okay, I will be back soon.